Hi, and welcome back. I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and I mean I've only started this YouTube channel and whatever else presence online under a month ago, but this is something that I even wanted to write a blog about. Maybe I will, and it's regarding long COVID, my evolution with it, and the thing is, so what it was almost 2 years ago, May 2020. And one day, I just got hit. Just wasn't feeling well. Temperature started to ratchet up. I was very dizzy, very confused. Didn't know what was going on. Obviously, it was towards the end of the very big first wave in the UK and everywhere, I guess. Everybody was still locked down. Things weren't well. It was towards the end of the first real bad lockdown, and I was down for about 2 weeks with various symptoms. I had a period where I struggled to breathe, but I didn't much cough. It was just weird, like the body didn't know how to breathe. I thought it was COVID. At the time, it was hard to get a test. By the time I got a test, it came back negative. Didn't really know what was going on. Everybody on the phone, every doctor was telling me they've seen similar stuff, and it's COVID. Just sit tight. You're young. You'll be fine. So I sat tight. After 2 weeks, I was fine. Not very fine, but much better. And then maybe another 2-3 weeks passed of this kind of general getting better. And then things started to get really worse and really weird symptoms, right? So I was having heart palpitations, stuff similar to maybe what people see in anxiety attacks, but I had no reason to be anxious. The body was just kind of freaked out, didn't know, big heart palpitations, tiredness, nausea, couldn't eat, all sorts. And there's been many symptoms since, right? And, I went to the GP and they were like, well, this is, we call it post-COVID. There's a lot of people like you. Don't expect it to go really quickly. It should be something like at least 8 weeks. So I hunkered down. I expected it to be long. But I didn't expect it to be a year and a half or however long it was until I felt like I could start to do some sort of movement again. It was a long time, right? And it was a bit of a dark time. And because I had times when if I had to get up from bed and go to the toilet, my heart would go to 140 beats per minute, which is ridiculous, isn't it? Like, what's going on? I had loads of tests. Nothing came back conclusive. I couldn't believe it. When all the blood work was coming back, they were like, you're stellar. I'm like, do I look like stellar? I am not stellar. I am in a bad way, my friends. And basically, medical science failed my situation. They had no idea what was going on. Eventually, I gave up on them. I started looking at all sorts of other alternative stuff. I started to accept my situation. I started to meditate. And that's how my transformation started, really. I started to pay attention to the body, give the body space when it needs it, not push myself too much, and just go with the flow, and all these things. They're things that kind of are what people on the spiritual path do. So you see, I'm coming up to 2 years. My stamina is back, but I've completely transformed as a person. And what it seems like to me is I realize that what I was associating with long COVID most likely for me were ascension symptoms. Now, if you don't know about this, and if you are having long COVID, so first of all, obviously, I'm not a doctor, right? This is a little disclaimer here. Investigate your own situation. I'm sharing my experience. If you find yourself in it, if it resonates with you, right? You're getting goosebumps, you're feeling it. Wow. Then maybe, have a listen to what I'm saying here. But your health is your responsibility, and you should get yourself checked out. I know I did many times, right? I even had advanced heart echocardiograms and all that stuff. They didn't find anything. Yeah, you know, turns out with the perspective I have now, actually, I was experiencing most likely ascension symptoms, spiritual ascension symptoms. Now, more recently, I found out that there is a raising of consciousness of the planet. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think this is mainstream acknowledged, but I would take whatever you see in the mainstream with a massive grain of salt. Now, there's a lot of people, you'll find a lot of people online who are suffering similar type of symptoms. Headaches, nausea, extreme severe tiredness, clumsiness, dizziness, all sorts of neurological type symptoms. Because if, you know, I thought it was like neurological as well at some point, some of them. So heart, and you don't find anything, right? Investigation shows zero issues medically. Now, for a while, I was frustrated in refusal. You know, I was kind of pushing against the experience. I was thinking, oh, you know, these horrible doctors, they have no idea what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. I was trying to be understanding because obviously I thought, you know, this is a new disease or whatever's going on. They don't know what's happening. And obviously the focus is on the people dying. So, you know, I didn't want to blame them too much, but it was a frustrating experience. However, as I progressed, I started to meditate more and more to calm down the nervous system, because to me it was clear that whatever was happening was related to the nervous system, because it seemed like the organs, like the heart and whatever else, was fine. The problem was with the central processing unit, the nervous system that was giving all these weird signals to different organs, and those were generating the weird problems. At least that was my conclusion. And I was on different forums with loads of other people, right? I was like, whoa, there's so many other people and nobody's acknowledging this. I mean, for a long time, long COVID wasn't even acknowledged, especially by leadership and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, it seems like it's some nervous system related stuff, right? So what do you do in nervous system? Well, you do breathing techniques, you do humming, you do these kind of yogic practices, right? Interesting, right? So, you know, obviously I went into this, started doing meditation, started doing breathing, and it did help. But obviously that kind of stuff takes a long, long time to settle down. Just in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so slowly but surely, I started getting better, but I also started to transform. I started to have more heightened awareness of my thoughts, my feelings, what was going on. And before I knew it, I was on the way, right? That I was on the spiritual path without knowing it. Because I realized, no, why am I feeling these feelings? What's with these thoughts? I don't really like this. This doesn't seem to align with me. And I started to work on myself and polish and remove layers until eventually, you know, I dug deep enough into the layers of conditioning to find that I was acting as others expected me to act, and that was pre-programmed by all my experiences in childhood, and we all are. And the more you go on this path, and the more you dig to find the real you, you know, the more surprised and shocked you will be about who you are and what this world is. But yeah, really, I wanted to make this film for people out there who have been suffering with COVID, long COVID, or had it. Because for me, it was the catalyst for a complete personal transformation. And I don't think that is by mistake. If you're still suffering from long COVID, of course you do your medical investigations. But could this be nervous system related as well? Could deep breathing, humming, meditation help you? Could accepting the situation help you? Accepting anything in life definitely helps you, in my opinion. because I've come to learn that everything in life is a lesson. It's a lesson for us to grow, to improve, to find out who we are, find out why we're here. Because trust me, you have a purpose in this life. It's just covered under layers of stuff that isn't yours, but that you think is yours. So yeah, you get from a chronic condition to spiritual ascension. Now, knowing what I know now, that this is really a global phenomenon, that the entire consciousness of large masses of people and the planet is raising, because that's what ascension is in itself. And our perspective on the world is changing, and we're not so locked into our old ways. We can see outside and think outside of the box. I don't think this was by chance, but that's just me, yeah? I'm telling you my opinions here. But long story short, long COVID can be a massive catalyst, or any other chronic condition for that matter, can be a massive catalyst for personal change and healing. Because once you get closer to who you really are, you start to heal. Because a lot of the issues that come up health-wise are because you are not aligned to who you are. So you're kind of fighting against who you really are. You're pushing, you're chasing, you're on that hamster wheel, which is exactly what's happening in today's society, because that's what we are born and bred. We're bred into that. We're not born into that, we're bred into that. Society breeds us like race horses for us to become these amazing diploma holders and do all sorts of things, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong, but is it aligned to who you really are and what you want to do in this life? And only you can answer that question after self-reflection. And also you can use other tools like meditation, yoga. Yoga is not just stretching the body, okay? It's not a physical exercise thing, although there's a component to it, yeah. Yoga is a spiritual process. Yoga means union. In the West, it's used as exercise. And even meditation is used as exercise for the mind, like, to learn to calm yourself down and not be so anxious. That's nice and dandy. And it's very good when you're a loose cannon. But then as you get to do it more, you understand the power behind it. Yeah, there's a transformational power there. So I'm putting this out there for people who resonate with this message, for people who have found themselves in difficult health situations, and maybe not just that. Many things in life, if not everything, can be solved with focusing on yourself and using tools like deep breathing, meditation, humming, cold exposure. That is really good as well. Of course, when I was having heart palpitations, I was a bit afraid to get into cold water because I was like, it's gonna stop or something. But you can tune your shower down slowly, and see if you can acclimatize to it. So those 4 things are really, really helpful for the nervous system. And I strongly encourage you to experiment with them if you're in this situation. And you may find that you are on a spiritual ascension path as well, and that those were in earnest ascension symptoms. Could have been triggered by COVID, or maybe not. Because there's so many people that have been experiencing this, and you have to wonder, isn't this associated or directly the ascension process? I couldn't tell you, but to me it looks like it's the ascension and ascension symptoms. It's a long-winded process. You have to be compassionate for yourself. You're learning to tap into the love inside of you, and that love has to first be there for yourself. Because if you don't have something in you, you can't give it to others. Okay? When someone triggers you, someone gets you upset, you get upset. It's because that's inside of you. They're just a mirror. That's inside of you. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this helps someone out there. I'm sure it will in time. This is my experience. Take it with a grain of salt. See if it applies to you. See if it resonates with you. I think for me, it's really important to share this message because I feel like it's a core message for what's happening right now in the world and what's been happening over the past 2 years and what's about to happen in the next few years as this ascension process picks up. Many, many people are waking up to who they really are. Do you want to know what I think we really are? I should let you explore yourself. But a lot of my videos on YouTube and other platforms speak about what I have found. And you can look at those if you feel so inclined. Hopefully this helps. I know I said that 10 times, so I'm gonna stop right there. Thank you very much. Stay joyful, stay in love, stay in peace, and shine bright, because you have a light. And the more you focus on yourself, the more you'll find it. See you next time.